Dr. Doom, he's out here getting vengeance for all these heroes thinking that they could cheat time, thinking they could go back without consequences and change their past lives. Nah. Dr. Doom, he's bringing vengeance. There's a new trailer that dropped, and the thing that Dr. Doom says is, "You are all living stolen lives." What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. These heroes tried to cheat Tom, and they thought that there wasn't going to be consequence. One guy that I think people are forgetting, a guy that's lived some stolen lives, this man on my shirt, Wolverine. If you watch X-Men Days of Future Past, it starts out in a future in 2023. There's only a few X-Men left. There's Professor X, Magneto, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, Wolverine. There's a few others. But the Sentinels are closing in. They figure out, okay, the only way that we can prevent this is if we go back in time and prevent Bolivar Trask, the man that created the Sentinels, from ever being able to create them. So they send Wolverine back in time. The problem is when he gets sent back, it's before he ever met the X-Men, but he has his future conscience in that universe. It's going to change the natural flow of how that life would actually be lived because he has the knowledge of the future. So it changes the natural flow. So by default, that becomes a branching timeline. So you got one timeline, he goes back into a past where he thinks it's just going to the past, but no, you're going to another timeline because you changing it. So he lives and they do what they can to try to stop the Sentinels from being created. But when it comes time for him to go back into the 2023 version of himself, his conscience fades into another version of Wolverine where he wakes up in the X Mansion. You got the original X-Men cast. The original Jean Grey is still alive. Original Cyclops. Professor X is there. And Professor X, he can see in Wolverine's mind. By default, he can see the future, technically. Professor X can. So just in that movie alone, Wolverine fades into 3 universes. And I think the end is a product of all these multiverses getting closer together. That's why his conscience faded into another version. That's a man who's lived a stolen life.